Okay, go.
Okay guys, I'm going to show you the basics of making an RC car, at least the electrical components, alright? These are the things you're going to need. You're going to need a receiver, okay, and a transmitter. This is how you're going to transmit a signal to your car to tell it what to do. You're going to need a battery. You're going to need an ESC, which stands for electric speed controller, okay? This is what controls the speed, variable speed, so you can go fast or slow. And you're going to need a servo, alright? And that's pretty much it. It's going to be a pretty simple device. So you'll notice that I have my batteries hooked up here with these with this 9-volt connector, and it's hooked to these outside wires on this ESC. Okay, it's kind of confusing. There's outside connectors and inside connectors. I've already cut these connectors off. It comes like this. And then the inside connectors, this is what goes to the motor. And it doesn't really matter which way you hook these up. One's going to be forward, one's going to be back. So if I switch this, it just changes the polarity of the motor, so it'll just spin the opposite way it was before when I had it hooked up the identical way. Okay, you're not going to use alligator clips. You're going to actually solder wires from this to this motor, and you're going to solder wires from your battery connector to this lead. Okay, these particular ESCs come with an on-off switch, so if you turn this on, it turns it on. Okay, and right now I have a servo tester plugged in as the receiver. Even though I'm not going to be using the receiver, you'll see that these cables right here, these are called PWM cables if you haven't used them before, pulse width modulation. And basically the middle one is the positive, it's 5 volts. The brown or black is the ground, and then the yellow or white is the signal. That's what sends the signal of how fast to go, like 100% speed, 20% speed. Okay, so you need to know that when you're plugging these in, and a lot of times you'll see this, you'll see S plus minus. So I know that on this particular receiver, I need to plug it in like this, okay? And these receivers just have 3 channels, which means there's 3 things that you can do with it. So I just plug my servo into the first channel, and notice that the yellow's on this left side, or if it's the white with the other one. Now, if I plug this into here, this is a servo tester, and you're going to need this to zero out your servo. So essentially, your servo has a 0 point, and whenever you're going to, once it's on, you can put these little different caps on, and you'll see it moves. That servo moves according to what I'm doing on here. Okay, so this is how you'll control your car. Okay. It looks like there's a little delay, but it might be because it's coming from this ESC, okay? So that's how you're going to control it. Alright? Now you have to figure out a way to control to make those wheels move. There's a bunch of things online. You can look up car designs, but you just need one servo to make those front wheels move left and right. Okay? The simplest way I've seen is it has like a little pivot point, and then behind it has these little rods that go back left and right. Okay? They put a little gear on there and a rack and pinion, which is like a gear and then a long strip of like gear type stuff, and it can roll that and push it left and right and turn that car. Okay, and then this on these motors, they go back and forth. So if I go this way, it spins one way. If I go this way, it spins the other way. Okay, and then this turns it off. Alright, now I'll make a separate video on how to program your transmitter to your car once it's hooked up. But this is going to be the basic. This is what you have to work with. So you're going to use this to drive your drive wheel in the back to make you go forward and reverse. You're going to use this to control your front wheels to make you turn left and right. And then the rest of it, this sends the signal out. You're going to hook these up into either channel 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't even matter. And then this will give you your power. Now we probably should not use a 9-volt. I think it was kind of bugged me out here because if you look at this sheet, it says 4.8 volts to 8.4 volts. But I know that these 9-volt batteries don't push a lot of current, so I wasn't too worried about it frying it. But and then the output voltage is 5 volt at 1 amp. Okay, for the that's what sends the receiver and powers in. Okay, if you there's different motors you can use, different motor sizes, and I definitely have some different batteries. Like I've got some good quadcopter batteries that you can wire up to it as well, just however you want to power it. So I have students 3D printing frames. I could look one up online. I've got students making them out of wood. There's a bunch of ways you can approach this. It's a good chance to learn about gear ratio, like so how you gear your motor. You'll put a gear on here that drives your drive wheel. Now, you have to decide, do you want more top speed? Do you want more torque? How you decide to gear that is going to be up to you. And I have a bunch of different gears. You can 3D print a bunch of different gears. So it's to be a fun experiment for you guys to play around with. I really recommend that whenever you mount your motor, you make a way that you can adjust it. So that way you can change out your gears. All right, good luck with your project. Thank you. Okay, one last thing I forgot to show you is I have these boxes here. And hey guys, go and pause for a sec. And they have wheels that you can use. They have gears. So let me show you this. This is what I was talking about with how a lot of those drives are. They'll have something like this, and the servo will spin this back and forth, and that will move it to where your wheels move left and right. Okay, different size axles for you to put your wheels on. These gears will also go on there as well. So you can put the gears on. Some of them go on pretty tight, which you want tight because that's how it's powering spinning the axle. And then you've got your motors or your wheels. Oh, that gear's too big for that. But wheels go on here. Okay, but essentially what you'll have is some gear like this one. Let me just half put it on. These are kind of tight fit. There we go. We'll be powering this wheel by spinning. Does that make sense? And so you can use this group of parts. Some wood, the laser cutter. You can cut it out. You can laser cut it out. You can 3D print it. You can do whatever. You can power. I don't recommend powering it with 2 motors, but you can. So a lot of options. You can do like a tank drive type setup. So, all right, and those are the other options that you have available to you.